All right, welcome back to another episode, second episode actually here in Houston. Welcome back to another episode of the After Highschool Podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in and come back for another episode. Like I said before, we're running two podcasts in Houston. I should have changed my clothes, low-key, so you guys wouldn't know it was the same day. But today, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome somebody who's kind of influenced my path in having a clothing brand. The owner and the creative director, as it says in your bio. Andy Reyes, right?
How's it going, bro?
Doing amazing. I was really excited to interview you. I was preparing for these couple days leading up to this. Yeah, and I just want to show you off to like a new audience, let's say, because I do think your stuff is pretty cool. Yeah. And how are you doing?
I'm doing good, bro.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean it's Thursday.
Yeah.
And I was just telling you how it's getting a little cold outside.
Yeah.
So I mean the weather's good. Everything's good so far. Yeah.
So it sounds like perfect for a new drop, a new Lonestar drop.
Little hoodies.
Yeah. But yeah, it's funny because your birthday is July 20th.
Mm-hmm.
My birthday is July 23rd. I was just like, wow, that's kind of cool. But yeah, I really want to get in first. Like I said, I don't know if you were here. I don't think you were. Well, I try to start off with my guests, trying to give a background because it kind of gives a feel for who the person is, where they come from. If you don't mind me asking, where are your parents from?
So my parents, both of them, my mom and my dad, they're from El Salvador.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And me and my two other siblings were born here in Houston.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm half Mexican, half Salvadorian.
Okay.
Yeah.
What part of El Salvador?
I actually don't know.
You haven't asked?
I know my dad is from Oaxaca, Mexico, but I do not know where my mom is from. I have not been to El Salvador yet. Have you been?
Yeah. Bro, you should. I know back then it was one of those things where you don't want to go, but now it's the country's changed.
That's what they be telling me, but I was just okay, we'll go later on.
Nah, it's fun. At first, I the idea came up, and I was like, nah, what am I gonna do out there?
Yeah.
But no, it's just it's cool to experience where your parents come from. And when I was out there, I went to where my mom and my dad grew up. So it was cool to see firsthand, because I always tell you these stories, and to see the houses and the ranch and all that stuff. It was pretty sick.
That's cool. And you've always lived here in Houston?
Yeah, always. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. This is a different life out here, even from being here, it just gives me a different feel from over there in the DMV. But I do like it out here. It's pretty. It doesn't I can see the differences and everything, but it does seem pretty chill. And everywhere I've been, it's been pretty good. And you guys have more entertaining stuff out here. I feel I wouldn't get bored out here. Out there, you kind of get bored of the activities that we have. It's the same thing. But yeah, first off, want to dive into your school. What kind of student were you when you were in school? What's the best way to describe you? That kid is very shy. That kid is very antisocial. What is something that you think parents or people around you would describe you as when you were in school?
So high school, you would say?
Yeah, anywhere.
So in high school, I wasn't quiet at all. I was more as in, it wasn't really it was really hard for me to pay attention in class, let's say, So, I was not the good kid in class. I just didn't want to be there. So I know in middle school, it was around the same thing. High school was the same thing. But once I went to college, everything changed, because you're on your own.
Yeah.
But in high school, you have all this influences, your friends and stuff like that. So you don't want to do the work. You don't do the homework. I wouldn't say I was a bad kid, because I wasn't, but I wasn't a good kid either,
Okay.
And, I've got along with everyone. I never had no beef or none of that stuff. That's the same way I am right now. I usually try to avoid that stuff. But yeah, in high school, I was everywhere. Yeah.
That's cool. Me myself, I was a very shy, but sometimes I wasn't the perfect student. My grades weren't amazing.
Yeah.
But I was just a whatever student. I didn't like school. Never saw myself going to a college at all.
Yeah.
So I was always trying to find a way to do something that didn't involve going to college and everything. And what surprised me, I didn't know if you went to college or not until I started doing my research, but you did go. So when you were in school, was your goal at all after this, I want to go to college?
Yeah, in a way.
Okay.
Yeah, just because my school was really they're really big into that. High school, and then right after that it's college.
Yeah.
But even if they weren't, that was always a goal I had in mind. Just because that's what my parents wanted for me. But I also wanted it for myself. But yeah, I ended up going to school. Right after college, I moved out. I went to the Valley. So I was out there for like full school year. I did my freshman year there. Then I moved to Dallas. I was out there for 2 years. And then from Dallas, I was, COVID happened and I came back in town and I did my last year at U of H.
That's cool. Yeah. I mean, because you end up going to college. What college did you go to?
It was UTRGV, then it was Paquin, and then it was University of Houston.
Okay. Yeah. That's cool. And what did you study? Like, what was...
I started with business management. And then from there, I think my last year, I was already kind of developing like the skills that I have right now. And it just made sense to like switch to marketing. Yeah.
And you think that has helped you? Like,
no, I haven't used my diploma or none of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you graduated?
I graduated. Okay. Yeah. I graduated.
Cool.
I haven't. I don't know if it was pointless to go and graduate, but I mean, it's good like to have it, Yeah, but I haven't used it or it hasn't benefited me at all.
Cause cause like even when I tell people what I do and I'm like, oh, I have a brand, they're like, oh, did you go to college or are you going to college?
Yeah.
And it's been like implied to me like I should go to college by like parents and stuff like that so much that I'm just like, sometimes I do think I'm like, maybe does it actually do help like if I go to college, do I think it was actually gonna benefit me? But then I interview people and some people say like, yeah, some people say no. Yeah. But I just wanted to get like your thoughts about it. Was it your choice to go to college or?
Yeah, it was my choice. Okay. Yeah, it was definitely my choice. Of course your parents want that for you too.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of it was me. Yeah.
And I know I watched the podcast. I know you have an older brother, right? So I guess from how the story goes, from how I kind of like gathered, it was like, because we're gonna obviously talk about clothing and stuff like that. You kind of got a taste of like that, like the culture of like clothes and streetwear and everything like that from your brother, or you kind of got it introduced to you by your brother?
Yeah, so it was my brother that kind of just put me on. So he's 6 years older than me, so he's always like ahead of everything. And that's how usually it like initiated. It was my brother, just me looking up to him. Yeah,
that's cool. I have an older brother too. He's 4 years older than me, and that's kind of like the same thing. Like I think I discussed it before. How he kind of was the one to like be like, oh, you should wear this, or I would watch his style and I'd be like, I want to wear what he wears. Yeah. So I mean, I understand that. It's just funny how like I'll kind of see something, so I'm like, oh, that's kind of like what happened.
Yeah, they do play a huge part in like the way that like you're influenced, by them. Because I mean, they're doing things that you probably want to do, but you can't because you're younger than them. Yeah. But it's cool to have an older brother.
And I don't like when I was little. I remember like I don't even know how I said this. I remember I was a little bit overweight. Okay. I was like I remember I look back at photos. I was like really like chubby and my legs were like huge. So anytime I'd go to a like Tilly's or anywhere to go get clothes, they never had my size because I was short and like kind of chubby.
Okay.
And I was trying to find skinny jeans or like cargo pants when I was little, or not like middle school age, and then I could not find anything. And then I remember like just going to Macy's because like that's the only place that they had like weird sizes. And then that's where I got like a pair of pants that was like fit me kind of right.
Yeah.
And I just remember that moment. And I remember my brother would wear like these skinny jeans and stuff. And I would always want to wear that, but I just never could find my size and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I understand that, like, because I think your brother, like, probably, you probably got like stuff from him, saw, and then that kind of formed your style. Because I like your style. Like, your style is pretty cool.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it.
And it kind of shows off in the brand. Yeah. We're gonna of course talk about that later on. But I do want to ease my way. And I also saw in the podcast you did before, you had mentioned that you used to sell like, was it Bape hoodies, right?
Yeah. When you're in school, you're kind of just in need for money, and I be prior to that, I was already like reselling my own clothes. So I'm always buying clothes at the time, and I want to get rid of the clothes I'm not wearing. So I kind of already knew the ins and out of like Depop, Mercari. Mercari was huge back then for me. I don't know if it's still around, or is it?
I have no idea. I use Depop and like Poshmark sometimes.
Do you use Grilled?
I don't.
Okay.
I just feel like
you could sell a good amount of Grilled. Okay. Yeah. So I've never used Poshmark like that. Yeah. But I was doing Depop, Grilled, and Mercari. And I was uploading the same product in those three, and wherever it sold first, I would take it off from the other two.
When I first started making money, it was when I resold shoes. Like, I was going on sneakers, trying to hit on sneakers every day. And then we're going to sneaker meets. We're like trying to be shoe resellers, like me and my brother. I think were you a shoe reseller?
No, so but I'm associated with a lot of shoe resellers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like I know a lot of people that do.
Because I remember I scrolled down and I remember seeing like a photo. You had like a bunch of shoes in front of you. So I was like, oh, I wonder he's like a shoe reseller or at one point was. But yeah, so you're in college. You're selling Bape hoodies.
Yeah.
You're making a good amount of profit. Now, how does the idea of a brand or anything related to that start popping up?
So that didn't pop up. I'll say probably like 2 years after that.
Cause I kind of skipped over. My bad. It was you started getting into graphic design. No?
Yeah, I started with graphic design first. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I started with graphic design. Way before I even had an idea of a brand. Started with graphic design. I was doing that for about, I'll say 2021. Like as soon as COVID hit, I was already like on Photoshop trying to learn it. And I'll say like 3-4 months in Photoshop, I was already trying to like do things for like shops in the city. And you know, I'll always give all the credit to Rob and Leo, which is some of my friends of mine. They opened up at the time. They opened up a store, a vintage store, and you know they didn't have no graphic designer or none of that. And I wasn't graphic designing at the time, but you know I was like, let me just make something for them. I know they're not posting any flyers or none of that. They were like post like a Snapchat or Instagram picture, and they would just add the captions. That was their flyers. And so you know I just went out of my way and did that without them telling me. And then from there we started that relationship as in like, you know, hey, like you guys, you know, I take care of the graphic design. And then with time they started like giving me store credit. And I started like, it was like I was chilling with it because you know I was getting all the store credit. You know, I was buying this clothes, I was getting vintage tees, you know, sometimes shoes, you know, so it was like a two-way relationship with that. That's how I started graphic designing.
Okay, that's cool. And then I know you mentioned that like more and more people started to ask for your stuff. You started to get better, of course. Like is there any like at that time you enjoyed doing it? Like you enjoyed doing graphic design?
Yeah.
You okay? We're kind of jumping, but do you still enjoy doing graphic design? Like for your like brand? Like
for my brand, yes, I do.
Okay.
Because I know it's something like when I graphic design for my brand, it's different and same in a way when you graphic design for when it's not for your brand.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like when you're graphic designing for your brand, it's more as in like, you know, like you like nurture it. You want to make sure everything's perfect. Of course, with like other designs too for other people. But for this one, you're like, bro, this one, I want this one to like pop off, you know? And so I graphic design, I probably sit on it for like a week, show it to other people around me, make sure it's good. But yeah, when I graphic design for myself, I love it. You know, I love sitting down, just that's the easy part, graphic designing. The hard part is coming up with an idea. Like for example, it would probably take me about a day or two just to put it together, like the final. But like thinking about the idea might take me like a month or 2-3 weeks, you know? Yeah. So that's the hard part right there. But I do enjoy graphic designing. I've never opened up myself as like commission. Like I do commission work for people, but I do graphic design for like local shops in the city and like friends. Okay. Yeah, that's when I graphic design. Or if someone like, let's say a friend of mine recommends, hey, I know someone that graphic design, they hit me up, hey, I got recommended by this so and so, then you know I don't mind graphic designing and doing commission work. But I never really promoted myself out there as like I'm a freelancer, you know. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I understand that. It's funny because I'm like the opposite. I can think of an idea. I cannot graphic design for shit. I remember I took a graphic design class in high school, and it was my first period, and that was senior year. And if people like have followed for a while, they know I would literally I would go to school late every single day. So I was always late to that class, not on purpose, of course. And that teacher just started to like resent me because he was like, I was showing up late, and then I don't think I was like bothering him, you know, because I just go to my chair and then do whatever he was doing, or just like, you know, be in the class. I wasn't being disruptive or anything. And for some reason, every day he'd be like, oh, like, are you late again? And then he started getting more deep. He'd be like, I was like, why do you even bother coming to my class? Oh, really? And then I'll just be like, I didn't really care. Because I know his son. His son was like in ROTC when I was in ROTC. I was like, I didn't really care. And like, I wanted to get more into it. Because in the first couple classes that I was in his, like, learning from him, I was interested. I was like, oh, I like doing that. That's kind of cool. That could be useful. And then I would start getting late, and like I didn't mean to. I just because I would wake up late and my lines wouldn't go off and shit. And then he just started like he wouldn't give me a good vibe, so I didn't really care for his class. Yeah. But I did it piqued my interest a lot. But yeah, I mean you're the work I've seen from you is pretty cool. Like it's pretty like advanced. From like I'd be like, wow, I didn't even. It's like pretty cool idea.
Yeah.
But I feel like you have always had like I guess that hustler mentality because I remember you also said in the other podcast, I keep referring to it, my bad.
Yeah, you're good.
That you used to cut grass with your dad as well, and then he would give you different like houses and you take care of those, right?
Yeah.
So can you kind of tell them a little bit about that?
Sure. So that that started off as it was like the houses that like in my street, you know. So my dad he would cut lawn, and he had a few houses like around the neighborhood, and you know he had kind of put me in charge of like those 3 or 4 houses in my street. So they weren't too far, you know. You just step out your house and the yards you're in charge of are there, you know. I think I was like probably like 13 when I had started. I'm not too sure. But, you know, I kind of got in charge of those 3 houses that my dad handed to me. And I started cutting their grass. And, you know, I think it was like every 2 weeks I was cutting their grass. So I was getting paid like $25 a house. So if it's like 4 houses, I was getting like around $100 a month, every 2 weeks, you know? Yeah. And then monthly it was $200. And, you know, when you're 13, $200 goes a long way. And because I knew I had friends when I was 13. None of them had $200, you know. Yeah. So whenever I was cutting grass, I already had the money, the funds to like, you know, buy my own clothes, buy my own food and stuff like that. So, you know, I enjoyed it for a while, but then over time it was kind of like, you know, you want to make money different ways, you know. Yeah. Like, for example, selling clothes or, you know, selling this or actually working at a job. But yeah, that's how it started. Thanks to my dad, he kind of just instilled that in my mind. You know, kind of just you got to work for your own stuff. He never really gonna like just put everything in front of me. You know, he kind of just taught me that idea of you got to work for what you want.
And we're kind of like going way into the future because we haven't covered it yet. But when you did tell them about your idea for starting your brand and everything, were your parents both supportive, or what was their like opinions on it?
I never really even told them about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I never really told them about it. I just talked to them about the brand, like, you know, how it's going and stuff like that. Yeah. You know, this is that. Or usually they ask me about it.
Oh, okay.
But it was never that one thing where it's like we sat down and I gave them a conversation about it or stuff like that. You know, it was mostly as in like they already see what I'm doing. You know, and yeah, that's how it is with that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I mean I always remember I kind of did the same thing. They asked me what I was doing. They were like, what are you doing? Because I would be doing stuff like that. And I would buy machines. I was literally buying the machines and trying to learn in front of the door to my room. So they would always like, what the fuck is this motherfucker doing? Yeah. It's like they just see me with a new machine every now and then. But yeah, I saw like, I've been watching from like afar. I remember I first discovered your brand and then I discovered your main page and I was just like, oh. So I'm kind of telling them how we kind of like got in touch. Yeah. So I remember, I don't know what piece it was, but it was definitely like a few months ago. I remember on your page, Lonestar, it just popped up on my Explorer, and I always try to look at brands because I'm always like, you know, you can always like take inspiration or be like, oh, like, yeah, you never know who's behind that. So I remember going through it, and I was like, wow, like these designs are pretty cool. Like I like the meaning behind it. One that really caught my eye was the kind of, you did like an Olympic kind of shirt, like the Olympic logo. That was really fire, like with like the crown.
Yeah, it was the Olympic with the fishes, right? Or something like that.
It's like it's on the tip of my tongue. Yeah. It was like no, I think it was the crown. I forgot what you call it, like the crown with spikes, and it was going into like different colors, like the colors of the Olympics.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember. Yeah. It was a hoodie.
Yeah. And I remember like, wow, like that was fucking like smart, especially because the Olympics just passed. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Like he's on it. And then I found out through your page, and then that's when I was just like, damn, I would really like to like get to know him and maybe possibly have him on the podcast. Yeah. And then that's how we're here now.
That's sick, bro.
I mean, I from what I see, I was like, this is really interesting. And we got some like crazy ass like stories that I really want to get into. So like you said, you're starting to get better and better at graphic design. People asking you for designs. And then I guess you're trying to find different avenues where you can take this. And now, how do you transfer those graphic design skills to making designs that are going to be on clothing? Like how?
Okay. So it is pretty hard, you know, like how you say it, to kind of transfer your skills
And I like, yeah.
and put it in like garments, you know, because I did start off designing flyers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't just print a whole square flyer on a shirt. It doesn't look good, you know. So I started off designing T-shirts for other people first.
Okay.
For like, I think my first shirt was for, I think it was for like a youth camp.
Mm.
Yeah, so it was like a church youth camp, and they were doing this competition. It was like a competition of like, hey, you whoever designs the best shirt, I think gets their camp covered or something like that. Bro, it was so long ago. It's so blurred out. And you know, I was like, shoot, I'm gonna just try. And so I think I did it on my phone real quick, and I think I ended up winning. And from there, I kind of just got the little taste of it, you know. And yeah, and then my first actual graphic design shirt, like on Photoshop and stuff, like with a software, it was like way after when I started, because like I said, I started with flyers, and then I did I think it was a Houston Rockets inspired vintage. So I went like super like straight to it, you know. And I didn't start off with like regular like font work and stuff. Like I went straight to a rap tee right away, because that's what I was learning. I don't know if you heard of Fullermo.
No.
You haven't, bro?
No.
You should check him out, bro. Like if you really want to get into graphic design, I would recommend to check out Fullermo.
Okay.
So he's this guy that basically just does rap tees, and he has a YouTube. So you watch the YouTube, and he'll walk you step by step, and that's really what you need, you know. And that's how I started off with graphic design, just with his videos, and then I would go on my Photoshop, and I would literally follow every step that he would do, and I would find the same images he was using on Google, but like for practice, obviously, you know. So he would find like a dove, and I would go to Google and search up dove with same thing he would search up, and then I would find the same dove, and I would go on and do what he was doing and place it in the same spot he was doing it until I have the same graphic on my computer that he has in his tutorial.
Yeah.
And from there, I kind of just got the gist of it, and I started adding my own things to it. So I started off with that rap tee. So it wasn't too difficult to kind of just transition like start graphic designing flyers to a shirt. It was already kind of just there for me with practice. Yeah.
And now, like, let's say the idea of a brand pops to your head. I guess my first thing was I need a name.
Yeah.
So how was that for you? Like, what was the mindset when you were like, oh, let me think of a name, and then you get Lonestar.
So a name, bro. Actually, I feel like that's the hard part.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you come up with your name?
I think I told the story before. I had done like so many things because I just tried everything that interests me, and I used to sell shoes, and then I was like, I see a lot of people wearing clothes. I kind of want to first. What caught my eye was embroidering, so I bought an embroidering machine, and I would embroider like Nike, like how you would literally like sell like reps. I was selling like Nike shit, and I'd like do like different Nike things. I had a machine. I would like put in like all the sewing thing, and I called it Anthony's Closet because I was just like, oh, like something simple.
Yeah.
And then when I didn't want to do that anymore, I was like, I kind of want to make my own clothes, so I like the initials AC, and I was like, like what can I think of AC? And I just started like literally like.
So you got AC from Anthony's Closet?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then I was just like, let me like just fill in words. And then the word angel came up because my mom would always be like, oh, you're named by like Saint Anthony. And I was just like Saint something. I could use the word saint or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And then I was like trying to think. And I was like angel. And I wrote angel, and then I was like C. And then eventually got to Angel Club, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then I trademarked, like I went on the thing.
Yeah.
I went on the site, and I was like, it's not taken.
Damn.
Boom. And I was like, let's go. And I was like, I feel like, in my opinion, I thought that shit was going to get taken. I thought it was like already taken, but surprisingly, nobody took it.
Yeah.
But how was it for you?
So for me, it was a little bit different. You know how you said one of my pieces popped up on your Explorer page?
Yeah.
So you know these like graphic design pages that just put logos on on their like their feed? So it popped up on my Explorer page. So it was just that one Instagram, and it had said Lonestar, but they did it pretty cool. And that's the first thing I saw on my Explorer page. And, you know, I clicked on it, and I started going through the profile, and there was like a logo page. And they were selling logos. You know, I don't know if you've seen where like they post a graphic and they just say sold already.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was one of those pages. And, you know, I was going through it, and I had seen Lonestar. It was like baby blue with like stars. I think I explained the story on the other podcast, and it was it was like just the way the graphic was done by whoever that designer was, kind of just caught my attention. And you know, like the wordplay, the Lonestar and stuff like that. And I mean, I'm already in Texas, and I'm super big on like the Western. Like, even though I didn't want my brand to be revolved around like Texas Western cowboys and stuff like that, but just the name itself caught my attention. And so that's how I ran with it, just with that little Explorer page pop-up that popped up on my feed. Yeah.
I mean, I like the name. I think it comes off really smooth.
Yeah.
And yeah, but what is now? Do you have like a meaning behind it? Like, does somebody come? Because I get that a lot. A lot of people come up to me like, "What is the meaning behind the name of your brand, or what is the meaning behind it?" So if someone were to ask you, what do you say?
Like the meaning behind the name of my brand,
or just like your brand? They're like, "Oh, what's the meaning behind your brand?"
Yeah. So the meaning behind my brand, damn, bro. You know what? I've thought about this so much, bro.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people, a lot of brand owners, and a lot of people that do like creative stuff. Yeah. They always have meanings for everything.
Yeah, I know.
And you know, like for example, you're not the first one to ask me that. And it's something I should already have set, but I see it more as in like it really started off just like, let me just put my work out there, you know. So that was like the true meaning. Like, first, like, let me just put my work out there. If it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But you know, I'm getting my creative thoughts, like seeing them like in a garment, you know. And you know, it took off. So now it's like I need to find a true meaning behind it, so that when people actually purchase a piece, they're like, you know, this is what I'm buying. Yeah. But it's not easy, bro. It's hard.
I know, because people ask me, I'm like, so, and I'll try to like give them something, but
because it's usually something deep.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I want my, if you're buying this, and it's because whatever, you know, it's deep usually, and I really don't have like something deep behind it.
Cause even like I'll go to the mall, and sometimes like when my first couple photo shoots, I was on a budget. Like I didn't have no money for a studio. I literally grabbed like 6 of my friends, gave them all free hoodies, and I was like, let's go to the mall and take photos.
Yeah.
And like it literally said "Made in Heaven," so people were like, "Oh, is it like a Christian brand?" I'm like, "I'm actually Catholic," but like, and I'll kind of give them like a quick like rundown, but I don't have a meaning, just like you.
Yeah,
like,
but I wouldn't say it's like, I mean, it is a meaning.
Yeah.
But one of the things I did think of when it came down to like the mission or the meaning of my brand, it was so you know how you say you're Catholics, you know I'm a Christian, and so I've always wanted to like honor God and Jesus like in a way, like in any way I could, and I just never found a way. And I, you know, over time I kind of figured out that clothing was like a way, you know, like even though it may not look like it, but you can like, you know, you can honor Jesus or God like in that way. And so that was one of my things. I don't drop, like I didn't want to do a like faith-based clothing brand, because you know that wasn't really what I was like into at the time. But I knew that I did want to do like a collection every now and then, but I don't want to revolve my brand around that. Yeah. Because, you know, I would want to drop like, for example, a regular tee like this. So this is like a college tee. Yeah. It's just a Lonestar International. It's no faith-based, nothing, you know. So I wanted to do that every now and then. And then, of course, I actually brought you some stuff.
Oh,
shit. Let me give it to you, yeah.
That way you can take a look at some pieces. Okay.
This is one collection right here.
Yeah. Oh, open it. Got you.
So yeah, so I didn't really want to do like a faith-based brand, but every now and then I wanted to drop like a collection or a tee, you know. Right. And so that was one of them.
I like the baby blue. Like,
yeah.
Sometimes people go like too light or too dark, but this one's like, this is great blue.
So that one's like the version 2. So the way I went about this, the version 1 is just, it's not distressed. It's just filled in. Okay. And the V2, I did the little fade. It looks like it's worn.
Yeah. It's crazy because I remember I saw the shirt and I was like, I literally have a shirt that was like fully like, it wasn't like this design, you know, it was like completely normal. And after time I got worn out and it looks like this. I was like, damn. Yeah. Like this, I like the distress like design.
Yeah. So I'm big into like, I've always been into like vintage. So like if I can already get a shirt already looking like that, you know, I'm already buying used shirts that have holes and tears. So, you know, I kind of wanted to implement that on my brand.
I mean, that's how it was too. I literally go to sneaker meets and like I go on Poshmark. I try to find like the lowest, like the cheapest shirt I can find with like that is like vintage. Like I said, Poshmark. I don't know. I think they changed up some of the rules, but they don't allow you to sell clothes under like $5 or something like that.
Oh, really?
And I was buying stuff for like $2 and the shipping will kind of be like $5, but it would come out to be like $7. $7,
$8, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, damn. I want to go shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I seen this one too.
Yeah, that one's pretty sick. So that was my first all over or like manufactured piece. So I had to go overseas for that.
Damn.
Yeah. Usually everything I do is like, like in Houston, I wear like screen printers or direct to garment people. But that one I had to go overseas.
And I feel like people don't understand how hard it is to get like somebody who's willing to do this, because a lot of people, they don't go over like the what is it called, the screen printing size, like of I don't know what
It's
the
like
size.
16 by 20.
Yeah, they
That's,
don't
like,
go
probably the
over it.
biggest.
You have
Yeah.
to find people who make stuff that is
Yeah.
like this, that goes over and like this.
And that's like the biggest you can get with screen printing. Yeah, but this, bro, if you go overseas, you'll find everything, literally. So yeah, that's like, bro, that's light work for them. If you hit up someone in, in China or in Vietnam
And I don't know.
or Vietnam.
I've heard the story. You can kind of tell the story about this shirt in particular, because I do like this design, and it's like fire. Like this looks like a vintage shirt.
Yeah, you kind of see the stressing on it too. So yeah, so the story behind this shirt, so it's like in Portuguese. So this is actually a vintage shirt. It's inspired by a vintage tee, and I don't own the vintage shirt, but my friend does. So I was able to kind of get it off of him, and kind of just like look at it, see how it is, the placement and stuff like that. So I really like that shirt, and I wanted to remake it, but in my own way.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of I switched up like the language.
Mm-hmm.
The original shirt actually has like a little bit of like that red and just a little bit of the white, and I kind of try to get it just like that,
Mm-hmm.
in the gray font. But this one I did it in Portuguese. That way, like if you're wearing it around, people can ask you like the meaning of it or like the translation, and you could kind of just tell them what it means, and it's like conversation starter.
Yeah. I mean, this piece is like, it catches your eye in any
Yeah.
room you're in, because this is like the lightning and everything. And from when I've gone to like sneaker meetups, you'll find NASCAR tees, and then the bigger the print is, the more expensive they are usually. Like my brother has like crazy ass NASCAR shirts that like go all around and everything. Those are a couple hundred, and I got like the basic one with the like car in the middle and then like a car in the back.
See, the thing about those all over prints though, it's weird how it works, because all over prints used to go for a lot back in the day.
Yeah.
Now it's like waves, it's like trends, So now all over prints are like, they're all being overlooked. But back a year ago or two, all over prints were the move. The people, that's what people were getting.
I haven't checked how it is now. Like I remember I used to be really into like NASCAR tees, like quarantine a little bit after quarantine. That's when I was like so big into like buying vintage clothes. So I wouldn't know, but like yeah.
And so for this one, I also added my own. That was the first shirt I added my own size tag, which for me it's a accomplishment, because I've always had the regular blank tags. You'll see like LA Apparel with Shaka tags, and it looks cool if the graphics cool, but it doesn't look like it's still your garment.
Cause like,
but once you start adding your own tag, like your own branded tag, it feels kind of different.
for my first two drops, if people have them, because it's very limited, because I didn't have that much money. For the first two hoodies, I released a green and a black colorway, and they literally say on the back, "Fruit by the Loom," because that's the brand I would use. So I would use that blank. So it literally doesn't say anything about Angel Club, anything like stuff like that, until I got to the brown hoodies, and then they start saying Angel Club, even the shirts now. And that was when I remember when I saw my first tag, I was like, damn, that's kind of,
it's pretty cool. Yeah,
it makes it feel more like official and professional. But now I've seen this shirt, this hoodie, and I've seen this a lot. And I was gonna buy it off of you if you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nah, yeah, bro. That's actually I had that one. That's like an extra one that I just had around, and I had asked for your size. I was like, "What size are you?" You had told me medium, and I was like, "Bro, perfect." Damn. I think that's a medium. Can you check? It should be.
Where does it? Oh yeah, it is.
It's a medium. Okay, yeah.
But damn, bro.
Yeah, that hoodie, bro. That hoodie's went crazy.
Damn. Like the design and everything.
Yeah, I still have it up on my website, but it's one of those where it's like I want to keep it up till the end of the year, and it's just there on my website, and people are just ordering.
Okay. I always want to ask people, because so when it comes to clothes, do you limit how many, like, do you have in mind how much of what, like, let's say this shirt's only gonna be 100 pieces. Do you do that, or is it as many come in and then cut off, or?
So I usually do the pre-order method.
Okay.
But that one's really tricky, just because it's time consuming. Pre-order method, you gotta first you open up your website, then you get your orders in, and then you start production once the orders in. So you're making the exact amount that orders came in, unless you make like extras.
Yeah.
But I think that process so far has been working out for me, just because time that I take with the pre-order method, I try to be super fast with it because I know it's time consuming, you know. So like the moment I close my website, I'm already ordering blanks that same day. So I close my website, boom. Let's say I open up on a Friday, I drop Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I close in Monday night. That same night, I'm ordering all the blanks. That way they're here. Let's say 2 to 3 shipping. They're here by Thursday, Friday.
And you have the exact amount.
And I have the exact amount, but I always order extras.
Yeah.
So like let's say like 200 shirts were sold. I order like 230 to have like 30 just extras laying around to give away, you know, or stuff like that. Or, you know, I usually put some of my clothes in some like certain stores here in Houston.
Okay.
So I just drop off there too.
Oh, that's
you know?
cool.
And so, yeah, so I do the pre-order method, and then once it's gone, you know, because it's a pre-order, you know. But for example, like that one that I had to get overseas, you have to have a set amount already. Because if you do pre-order method overseas, you're frying yourself because it's like a month or like 3 weeks shipping.
And the people already pay, so now they're waiting.
And now they're waiting. But when you do something locally here in Houston, it's like you have everything in your palm of your hands. You know, your screen printer, you could just drive 20 minutes and you'll find someone. Okay. And it's pretty quick. You know, it's way quicker, so it's valid to do a pre-order method. But like I said, if it's overseas, it's impossible.
Because I seen like a lot of brands do like either or. Because I mean, I follow a couple brands. I know like Los Boyz and them are Santi. He does like pre-orders too. And I was always like, I haven't done pre-order because I'm kind of afraid. I'm like, what if something goes wrong?
Yeah.
But that's why I always like, from how I've been doing it, I'll usually order. I'll predict. I'll give it like, oh, let me get 1,000 shirts, and then I'll get 1,000 in. And then I'll sell them as I go, you know. But I only keep it to that 1,000 because I don't know about you. I try to keep every piece limited. So any of the designs I've done in the past, I will not bring them back. Yeah. Like a lot of people want this. The first thing I dropped, this green hoodie, to come back, and I was always like, damn, I can't. Like I literally cannot bring it back because I want to keep every piece limited. So like let's say in the future, people are like, oh, I wonder how much that is going for, and they'll find it on eBay for like a couple $100. That's something I see in the future happening, but I don't know how it works. Do you think, let's say, if this was really high in demand, or it probably is, but if they were like, bring it back, would you bring it back?
That one specifically, no. Like just because, you know, the process that it took me to you know, create the piece and like order it and bro, because working with overseas it's pretty difficult. It's not easy. But that one, like I said, I won't bring it back. I do have a lot of people telling me about it. So that one, I think I printed like 100 of them. Okay. From the jump, you know, and the 2XLs, they went fast, and so now till this day, I have a lot of people asking for XLs and 2XLs. So like I said, I always keep extras with me, like 1 or 2, and that was one of the extras I had. And so whenever he had told me the medium, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and.
I feel bad taking it.
Nah, you're good. I still have one more. Okay. And that's the one I'm gonna just keep for like just to have, you know. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, the pre-order method it's good, but you got to go about it the right way. Yeah.
Okay. Because I mean, I've peaked it because a lot of people do. So sometimes I'm like, should I just do a pre-order method and cut it off at a certain window? Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
also got to make sure whoever you're getting your stuff done, like you got to make sure they're
fast.
They're not gonna just, you know, BS, or they take like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. 3 weeks is not bad, but like 4 weeks, you know. Okay. Because another good thing too, if you're doing pre-order, is that you can always you kind of have to mention that it's a pre-order. That way, you know, if anything goes on where like someone orders and like a few days goes by, which it happens a lot. Yeah. So like I still get, like this morning I got one email and it was like, hey, I just ordered it, just want to keep an update, and, you know, just to let them know, hey, it's a pre-order. You know, I put it on the product description. It says 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah. And, you know, they're usually, once you say that, you know, they're fine with it because they're like, you know, he did put it on the product description. It's there. But I mean, yeah, if they can't wait, then shoot, I don't know. That's.
I mean, I've experienced my share of like emails. Like, I literally, they will put in the order like a few hours ago and be like, just checking on the shipping, and then they'll keep going. I'm just like, I mean, yeah, we're gonna get it out tomorrow because I have all the stuff in my house actually for anything I've released. Unless it's sold out, it's in my house, and I'll do it. Like, let's say order comes in, I'll go to the room I have, and I'll do it out, and then I'll have it ready. And depending on what time they order, like if the USPS is closed or not, I would just drop it off. Yeah. But then there has been, I don't know if this happened to you, they'll put the order address wrong. So it will get returned to me, and then they'll kind of be like, oh, I didn't like, they'll kind of like fight me about it. They'll be like, oh, like, and I'll kind of be like, oh, you kind of put the address in wrong, so I got to ship it out again. Yeah. So Has that happened to you? Like wrong addresses and like.
Yeah, bro. It happens.
Yeah.
It happens all the time. Not too often, but it happens. You know, I think recently, when was it? I think it was like yesterday. I had someone put in the wrong address, and I just had packed the stuff, and I was on the way to the post office, and I had checked the order number, and I was like, wait, this order number seems around the same range that what I just packed. So, hey, bro, he hit me up right on time. I was already like 2-3 minutes away from the post office, so I just pulled his package out.
Yeah.
But it happens, you know, and I just go back to the crib and print out a new label.
Yeah.
And just, yeah.
But yeah, like it's just like some stuff that people don't see behind the scenes. Yeah, they don't see.
But I mean, I understand them. They don't know. They don't know the ins and outs of like what goes on behind the scenes. They're just consumers. Some people do know and they understand, and it's a little bit of everything,
And I wouldn't blame them either, because like before I had a brand, I'd probably be doing the same thing.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
even when people like, let's say you put out a product and then maybe it's more than what they would pay. Like let's say you put out a hoodie and they're like, wow, it's that much, and then they start saying stuff. But I'm always like, I will never be like, oh, it's because I have to do this and this. I'm like, if they don't want it, it's chill. Like,
they just, if they don't understand it, they don't understand it.
Yeah, I wouldn't like make them understand, because at the end of the day, that's how much I'm paying for
your
it.
piece, yeah.
So I mean, if I think the price is too high, then I'll try to fix it, But yeah, I mean, it's just like little stuff. I had a question. Do you use Shopify? Because a lot of people use Shopify for their brand. Do you use Shopify?
I use Shopify.
Okay, because I use it too.
I've used Shopify since the beginning of my brand.
Okay.
Yeah, I just feel like it's super easy and it gives you all the like intel and information that you need.
Okay.
Yeah.
If some of y'all don't know, Shopify is like a site you can make your own website on, basically, and it's really easy to use. That's what I use. I didn't know anything about starting a website or anything, and when I got into it, I spent like the whole day setting up my store, and it was pretty simple, as simple as they could make it, I guess, because I could do it, and I don't think I'm like that good with computers and stuff, and I was able to. I really like their stuff. There's like their little problems here and there, but overall it's a good site. How was it for you starting up that site? Because I'm always curious to see like how it goes for other people.
So for me, working with Shopify, it came pretty easy to me because I had a lot of help. So I want to give a shout out to Furman. Yeah, so I don't know if you know or heard of the brand Nostalgia.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah. So Furman and his brother, they've been in that scene for like quite longer than what I have. Probably I'll say like I don't even know how much longer, but they've been in it. And I know I can rely on Furman. At the time, I was relying on him with like help with like taxes or Shopify website stuff, and also Joseph, which is one of my close friends. He was helping me. He actually helped me a lot when it came down to like starting a Shopify website, because he has his own sneaker store here in Houston. So we started. I started up the website myself. Kind of got a little bit of like, the domain and like how to put up a product, but then kind of going like behind the scenes of it when it comes out to like shipping or how to charge taxes. It was a little difficult for me.
Yeah.
So I was able to like ask these questions to them. Yeah, and they helped me out a lot. And now when people ask me for help, I just feel like I was getting helped at the time when I was starting, and now I feel like it's important to do the same thing. Yeah.
Oh my god, I have nobody over there that knew anything about clothing or Shopify or anything. I was watching YouTube video, and I was like having like breakdowns, because I remember I had waited to do the Shopify until I had already done all the hoodies and stuff, and I was like, all right, tomorrow it goes live, and then I had not even touched the website. I was like, shit. And then I remember like staying up like night, like after night, and I had school the next day, and I couldn't like figure it out. I was like, I don't get how to do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's
difficult, bro.
Yeah.
It's difficult. Do you look at it, especially if you look at it for the first time? It's like
it's just so many buttons to click. It's like, oh my god, and you have to do some stuff. You have to like fill this information out, and I'm just like, shit, I gotta do all this by like in 2 days.
Did you end up dropping? Or
oh yeah, but at the time I wasn't on social media like how I was, because I dropped my first hoodie in like junior year or sophomore year. I don't remember, and I had like 200 followers on Instagram, nothing on TikTok. I don't even know if TikTok. Yeah, it probably was, but it was pretty like new. I was not on TikTok at all, and in my mind, I was like, I'm gonna make this and it's gonna sell out.
Yeah.
It was I had an inventory of 80 or 70 hoodies.
Your first drop.
Yeah, because I got the hoodies for a good price, and then I was working all summer to buy that. Like I was working at my dad's restaurant. I was working like all night, 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. working to saving up money for these hoodies. And then I remember I bought them all, opened the site, and I got like one order.
No
And I was
way.
like, that shit hurt.
Yeah.
And I was trying to do TikTok because I wasn't like, I was brand new. I was like,
Yeah.
well, like post videos about it, and then
When
nothing.
was this? Like
Now it would have been like 4 years ago,
4 years ago?
2 to 3 years ago.
Okay.
Okay, because I'm trying to get what age I was. I was not on social media at all.
Yeah.
Literally like nothing. And I was like posting stuff and nothing was doing good. And even people wouldn't want to model for the brand. I would ask like people around my school and they're like, nah. And I was like, damn. And then that was like what, sophomore, junior year. And then at one point I kind of like gave up. I was like, just put the hoodies. They were in boxes in my room. I put them in the closet. I wouldn't see them. And then my parents and friends would be like, "Oh, how are the hoodies going?" I'd be like, you know.
Yeah. They're doing good.
And then it wasn't until I started doing the Pollard series and everything.
Yeah.
That's when people would just see me rock the hoodie because it was my hoodie. I would wear it a lot. And they were like, "Oh, where'd you buy that?" And I would just be like, "Oh," the thought of promoting it to that audience didn't even cross my mind. I was like, "Oh, it's for my brand actually." And then when I was doing the day in the lives, they would see me pack people's orders. So then that's when I would get 2 orders. I would get 2 orders a day. I was going crazy. I was like, I would go to school. I'd be like, Sean, like my friend was like, yo, I just got 2 orders. I got 2 orders like today. I was like, I'm starting to sell the hoodies. And then I ended up selling out. And then that's how I sold the first couple 70 hoodies. And then after that, I started doing the drops. But yeah, I mean, it was slowly but surely, and it just worked itself out. So thank you to everybody who bought a hoodie. If you got one of those 70 hoodies, I do not see anybody rocking it.
Yeah.
Like nobody's tagged me. I haven't seen anybody else wear it except people that were in my school. Because people in your school will be like, I'll buy one.
Yeah.
But other than that, I haven't seen anybody else rock it.
You should do one of those where like you post on your story and it's like if you have one of these 70 hoodies, go ahead and tag me and you'll get like a discount code or something like that.
Oh, that's a smart idea.
Just so you can see who has one.
Because like I don't see anybody. I have like family members who have one and that's it. And like
they're gonna be the first one to tag you.
Yeah. I was like, just keep it like in the closet. I was like, you know, a few years it'll be worth something, hopefully. but yeah. So after, I don't know how it was for you. You create your product, you sell it. Now, how do you share it to your community? How do you share it to like a community? How do you promote it? How do you go about that process?
So that process is actually my favorite process, which is like presenting the product. You know, obviously, the graphic design and like, the coming up with idea is like cool too. It's more tedious, but like I start having fun when I'm like presenting the process, the product. So I've always been big into like I gotta have a photo shoot, I gotta get models, like I want to like present this product like it's my only product, and that's how I view it. Like every time I drop something. So like I said, luckily I have a lot of people that around me that help me, and so I was able to find models pretty quick. So right now when you told me you were asking people in your school to model it and they were telling you no, I was like, dang, like I wonder how that feels like, because I know it doesn't feel good, right? Because it's like you want to present this piece and you want to like put it out there and you want to like showcase it and stuff like that, but you need a model,
Look, I remember. Sorry to cut you off. I remember one time, like I had a friend and he knew this girl. Like she was just like a friend of my friend, and I was like, "Would you want to?" He asked her. And then she like kind of laughed, and I was like, "Oh,
yeah."
And that's when I stopped asking people. But yeah,
yeah. So I had friends that I've always like taking pictures and stuff. So I actually have like go-to models. So like right now I have like my friend Eric. He usually the one that models the stuff. Like when I need like usually when I drop a piece, I'm already like I know I got him. He's gonna model it. I got my friend Jason, Haiti. These are all people that are like my go-to models, and they're always down. And they know what to do now, they have never had, I really don't have to tell them, apart from like the vision that I have, like, hey, wear this, wear that, but they're like naturals with it.
Okay.
They're in front of a camera and they'll pose pretty cool with piece and stuff. But yeah, so that's my favorite part. It's hard to come up like where to shoot the product. So like what location. So I have a photo shoot this Saturday, so like in 2 days. And I would say this was one of the hardest ones that took me a while to figure out how I want to, have the photo shoot. But I just ended up going with like a house setting, you know. So I was even thinking of getting like an Airbnb, something like this, and shooting here to use a couch.
Oh, that's cool.
And so I don't know if you heard the app Peerspace.
I've not.
So you should download it. It's called Peerspace, and you just go in, you put location you're in, and it'll ask you, do you want to do a video shoot, photo shoot, rent, or like party, baby shower, whatever.
Wow, that's actually
so you go to Peerspace, you put your location. So in that case, you put DMV, or I don't know if that pops up. What pops up? Maryland,
yeah.
So you put Maryland, and then you put I want a photo shoot, and then it'll show you all the studios in your area.
That's actually
so
crazy.
I just found out about that app like 3 days ago.
Okay.
Yes, I think I was on the phone with my friend Jason. I was telling him, bro, the shoot is this weekend. I don't I'm blank right now. You know, I don't know where to do it. I don't want to use a spot that I already used because it's pretty hard to come up with something. He was like, just download Peerspace. And I was like, huh? What's that? He was like, bro, you just hop on it, put your low, and then it'll show everything. And I was like, hopped on it, bro. Hell, lifesaver. Now I think like every photo shoot, I'm gonna just be on Peerspace.
Damn, that's tough.
It's pretty cool. Like for example, you'll see like a gel set, or you'll see like a private jet set, and you can just have photo shoots there. Like if you're having like little ads too.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Damn.
And so I hopped on Peerspace. I found a studio, and you know, I found the vision that I wanted, which was like an in-house couch and stuff like that. And I was able to hit up. So this is the first time I'm using 4 models. So I'm using 4 models, and I got the studio, I got the photographer, and I got the behind-the-scenes camera guy.
Damn.
I usually try to take a full team. That way I can bring out like the most out of the shoot. You know, like everyone's there. All the models are there. Now it's time to just lock in that hour and a half that we have in the studio. So that's usually how I go about it. I try to go crazy the day of the shoot and try to get as much content as I can. Then once that's done, I try to get like solo content, so like pictures on the floor or like, you know, stuff like that. Yeah.
Damn, you just put everybody onto free game for that. I'm gonna use that because I didn't know about that. I usually go to the same studio and like kind of like do different background because I'm just starting to get into like studio and photographer and stuff like that. Like having that part of the process. And I always just heard a quote. It was like what's his name? He started Off-White.
Virgil?
Yeah. I actually
the candle one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Where you design the room. Like why would I spend hours designing the product where I can be spend hours designing the room that the product is in.
Yeah.
I always try to think about that when I do my photo shoots and everything like that. But yeah, it's pretty cool to hear because I have not met another brand owner, so it's really interesting to pick people's brains because I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah, bro, it's cool, bro. It's like I feel like if you put your product or your piece like with like the perfect photo shoot or like a cool photo shoot, bro, the piece can sell, and it could be something simple as this. Yeah, like this is just font work, really. You know, there's no graphic to it. And, you know, if you present it right, if you do the right, like, videos for it, I'm not talking about, like content videos. You know how you put in the ground or you do TikToks with it or videos for reels and stuff like that. I'm talking about, like, an actual, like, if you even put, like, an ad. Like, if you do, like, a mini commercial. Like, for example, for this shoot, I just came up with this idea. Well, my friend helped me out. He gave me the idea, and I kind of just, you started elaborating. And so he was like, what if for the shoot, I sit behind the couch? There's just one picture. I don't know if you've seen it. David Beckham? So he's behind the couch with, like, headphones on, and he has the albums or, like, CD players in the bottom. And the other side of the couch is 2 people talking, watching TV, like, doing their thing. Yeah. And he's just minding his business, listening to his music. And so he sent me the picture, and he was like, yo, what if we do, like, a little ad or commercial? And we have... So he's the one modeling the hoodie. He's like, I'm sitting down right there, and I have my headphones on. Have the hoodie, I'm a model, and you have basically you, the photographer, and the other models just kicking it on the other side, blurred out in the background, and that could be like a little mini commercial. I was like, bro, that's pretty sick. And so that's one of the ideas I got, and you know, little ads like that can really push your brand because you kind of make like little movies. It's fun, and you start seeing like people like mess with it. Like the moment you post it, they're like, oh, this is a cool video, a cool movie or ad or whatever it is, you know. Yeah.
That's what I always trying to do. I was always trying to be different and trying to do stuff like that. Like I have an idea that I'm kind of doing. I released like a little teaser trailer thing, and I kind of want to do it like I'm kind of telling them, exploring it for them. But it was the first clip I uploaded was like me hearing bells, and it's because I'm doing like okay. So what I'm trying to build towards is like the university drop because like constantly people ask me if I'm going to college or not because like they see like I graduate and everything. So the whole thing is the storyline is I keep hearing bells, but it's like imaginary bells of like school, and then the next part is gonna be just people like commenting like, "Oh, are you gonna end up going to school or not?" And then at the end of that clip is gonna be like my parents sitting down and just being like, "You got to go to school" and stuff like that. And then the clip cuts. Next one, what I ordered different college shirts like Harvard, Penn State, and I'm gonna have them all laid out. And I think I'm jumping, but it's gonna be like I have to choose which college I'm going to, and then I'm gonna have like the whole background. You know how people choose what college? It's gonna be all the shirts, and I don't know how exactly I'm gonna do it, but the plan is to like then show like the shirts that I'm dropping.
Sorry to cut you off, but you're making it seem to kind of show like your followers to make them think like you're going to school.
Yeah,
bro, that's so sick.
Because everybody, like you understand, like I'll always get the question like, "Are you going to college? Are you in college?" And then that's why I didn't even like say anything about the brand at all. I haven't shown any pieces in it. I want it to be like, what the hell am I watching? Like, why is he talking about this? Until the very last clip, and then that's when I release it. I show the shirts, and then after that, all the photos from the photo shoot start coming out because I'm actually doing a photo shoot this Saturday too. Yeah. I'm going home tomorrow, and I got a photo shoot Saturday with some people I know. So yeah. So that's like kind of like what I've been trying to build towards, and I want to release it. I want to reach the shirts near at least at the end of this month or beginning December, so people can order it for Christmas. Yeah. And like they don't get stuck in the traffic of like the last week leading up to Christmas, kind of. Yeah. But yeah, I just been trying. I've been seeing that idea a lot.
Yeah, that's a cool idea. I like it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bro. You're not like people are gonna think something else. Yeah. But it's like a curveball the moment you show the shirts. Yeah. Like, bro, I thought you was going to school. Yeah.
So I really want to build that out, and that I just couldn't do it this week because I was like kind of preparing for all this. But yeah, that's if you guys see this before that, free information.
Free info.
But all right, and then this part we're kind of I don't want to like overdo the like I guess like the brand stuff because that's very important. But I also wanted to go into these stories, and the first story I want to go into it. All right, so how did you first meet Los Boyz, or I don't know which person you met first?
The first person I met first was, I think it was Santi.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was Santi. So that went about. I just mentioned Furman and Tony. So they kind of they're into this space, which is like graphic design, like knowing how to manufacture pieces, like screen printing, all this stuff. And so they had to connect with him through, I think Tony went to high school with him.
Okay.
Yeah, and so Tony's been graphic design for a minute. And, me and Tony got connected through graphic design. So that's how we got connected. And I think it was Santi needed something he was about to start his brand. No, it wasn't even his brand. He just wanted merch before his brand even started. This was in 2021. So it was COVID because I remember we were all wearing masks at the coffee shop. So that's where we all linked up. And that's the first time I met him. And we was just designing. Okay. Yeah, it was nothing more. It was just, we were just cooking up ideas. Tony was cooking up his ideas. And, it's always cool to have two different minds working on something because, you guys can compare, you guys can agree, disagree. And, the end product is always pretty sick,
So you did design for him, like some pieces?
So that one piece with design in the coffee shop never really saw the light of the day. I think it did, actually. Okay. It was, the piece I designed didn't see the light of the day, but there was other piece they worked on. It was like a hibiscus flower. Okay. Yeah, this was like a long time ago. You probably haven't even seen it.
I don't think so.
That was like his first shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we were working on. It wasn't even Porfa merch. It was his like merch.
Okay. And then from there, how did you end up designing the Los Boyz logo? Because I saw you did a video about it. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know. Because like I followed you and I was like looking through the thing and I was like, oh shit, he designed Los Boyz logo.
Okay. So that one, over time you kind of just keep growing the relationship. Yeah. And then that one came about. I actually met Kev like not too long after I met Santi. I met Kev through mutuals. So, he has friends, like my friends, they kind of, my friend connected me with him. It wasn't really like he connected me. It was just like I would be around my friend and he was there. Yeah, so that's how I met Kevin. And, I got pretty close with him till this day. We still chat. Just yesterday we were playing Call of Duty.
Oh, what the fuck? Yeah, that's tough.
So, it's really cool that, he's doing fine and stuff. But, yeah, so that one, I met Kevin. Kevin hit me up that he had texted me. He actually had called me. And he was like, yo, we want to start this group, me and the boys, and we got a name for it. And I was like, what you got in mind? He was like, Los Boyz, but we need a logo.
Mhm.
And I was like, bro, I got you. Just let me know like what type of inspo you need, or like what route you want to take, because I just don't want to cook something up and it's totally different than what they want, you know.
Yeah.
And so I had told him, I was like, oh yeah, just give me some idea of what you're looking for. And so he already had a sketch. Like it looks like they were all like there sketching it. And so he sent me a picture of the sketch. I think I posted on the reel the sketch.
Mhm.
It was like a little yellow post-it note. And so it was just Los Boyz. And then he was like, just bring it to life. And I was like, okay, bet. And so that same night, I think they were like, it's one of those things where you come up with an idea and you want like, let's run it.
Yeah.
So I hopped on Photoshop and pulled up the picture Kevin sent me, and I put it up on Photoshop, and I started finding different fonts. So I used like 20 different fonts, and I sent them over to him. He was like, I like this one, and this one. And like out of like the 3 or 5 that he picked out, I started working on them, and I kind of perfected it. I did first they wanted LB, and then I was like, they're kind of not gonna know what that means if you're barely starting something. So then I did the low L, big L, OS, and then big B connected to LB. So if you want to take off the other words, you can still use LB logo.
Yeah.
You know? And so that's how I went around with that design, and sent it over. I sent it over with different colors. I sent over like 20 different colors so they could choose from. Yeah.
And they chose black and white.
And they chose the regular black and white, which makes sense.
Yeah.
That's like the smartest option. Simple, to the point, and you can, if you want to do like screen print graphic on a shirt, it's possible, you know.
Yeah.
But if you do different colors, you got to pay for different inks, do this, do that. But yeah, I mean, it's simple. Like whenever you do like a logo or like that's just like one color, you know. But yeah, they went with that one, and that's how the logo came out. Yeah, It was just through Kevin hitting me up saying that he needed a logo, and all the guys they accepted it, and that's how it was.
Okay, because I was wondering, I wonder which one of them were to hit you up and be like, I want the logo, because I was just like, who has the most like creative? I thought it was been like Sandy, because like you had the connection already.
Yeah, well, they all came up with the idea.
Okay.
Kevin was just the one that
reached
messaged
out.
me.
Okay. But yeah, and then later on, I'm pretty sure you've seen now Yero has that tatted on his leg.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
How does that feel to have a design that you made tatted on somebody's body?
I don't know. I didn't really.
You didn't think about it that way?
Yeah, I didn't think about it that way.
When I was like, I put those pieces together, I was like, damn, he really just designed it, and now your design is on somebody's body for permanent.
Yeah, I didn't really think.
Okay.
I haven't really till this day.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's just like their group logo. He got it on him. But that I'm like, oh, he got it designed.
Yeah.
You know, nah, it's just regular.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I like how you do your TikToks or like your videos, because like you're like, oh, designing for blank. Yeah. So I want to hear the Ivan Cornejo story, because how does that come about? Because
okay, so the Ivan Cornejo, that was not too long ago. That was like what, September.
Okay.
It was like 2 months ago. Yeah. So that one's pretty cool story. That one, it started off, bro. I'm gonna take you way back to this one. So this is one of those things where you think about something and it comes to life, and you're just like, that's kind of cool, you know.
Yeah.
And so it started off. I had gone to he actually performed at the Houston Rodeo in March of this year.
Okay.
So I was going to I went to the rodeo. I saw him perform, and when I was there, he went up on stage, and he was wearing like this cool jacket, and the jacket was pretty sick, bro. I'm like, I've never seen a jacket like that. So it was like a black work jacket. You ever seen like a Carhartt jacket?
I think
Yeah. So it was one of those, and he had like embroidery on it, and the embroidery had like, let's say it had a horse, it had like a cactus, it had like a shoe horse, like little things around the whole jacket. And so, you know, I thought about the jacket, and I was like, yo, that's a sick jacket. It'll be cool if like one day I'm able to like design something for anyone, you know. It was just that idea came to my mind. And so I think I had seen that he had band members, and you know, usually the easiest way to like get to like, I mean, you're not gonna DM big artists and hopefully they reply back.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
But like it doesn't really work, but I do try it.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to you know, try and shoot. You never know. But you know, I had reached out to I had seen that I had kind of learned that his cousin was his bass player. Like that same night, I went home and I just searched up like who's his band members, and I was like through Instagram, I was like, oh, his cousin is his bass player, and his cousin, like, he looked pretty cool and chill. And I mean, he was some people that follow me, like we had a few mutuals, you know. And so I was like, oh, I'm gonna follow. I'm pretty sure he'll follow back. He said like we have mutuals, and so he followed back right away. and I had rest. The moment he followed back, I reached out and I sent him a message. I was like, "Yo, I got some pieces I could send over." It was just like that, and I started sending over that same week or two. The next week, I sent over a piece for him and his team. So I was sending over like 4 or 3 pieces. So him, Ivan's, and third piece, which I didn't know at the time who I was sending the third piece to, but now I know. When I met the guys, and it was his photographer.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just kept sending every drop.
That's
And
cool.
he kept messing with it, and then eventually he followed the brand. And I had seen, or I had heard that they were going to be in San Antonio, because they weren't coming to Houston. And so I had seen that they were coming to San Antonio, and I had told him, I was like, "Hey bro, I'm actually not too far from San Antonio. I'm like 2 hours away, and I just have this drop, and I want to give it to you, And I was like, the main reason for me wanting to hand deliver that is because I wanted to make content out of it.
Yeah.
I was like, it's pretty cool. And so, we drove to San Antonio. It was me and two friends drove to San Antonio. We got there, messaging back and forth. And the idea wasn't really to go to the concert. Like, I just wanted to deliver the pieces to his name is Alejandro.
Okay.
Bro, super cool guy. Like, you would think these people are like stuck up or something, but no, bro, like down to earth.
That's cool.
Yeah, family oriented. Like, they're really nice guys. And Alejandro came out from I think they were rehearsing. He came out from it was like 30 minutes left for the performance. Came out from the back with him, his like 2 other friends. And I gave him the pieces. I did a little reel about it. I was handing him the pieces. We kind of chopped it up a little bit. And he hit us up with "Yo, I got 2 tickets for y'all." I was like, "All right, bet 3 tickets." So it was me and my 2 friends. I'm like, "Oh shoot, like we'll stay." And I mean, San Antonio is 2 hours. We didn't mind driving back, so we stayed. We went to the booth, the ticket booth. We got our tickets, and we opened them up, and they were like backstage VIP tickets, and we're like, "Whoa, it's pretty sick." We got the tickets. We saw the performance, and then we just went. His photographer that I met there, his name is Ozzy. Super cool guy too. He kind of just came for us, and he just took us backstage with Alejandro, and Ivan was just there, and it was pretty cool to kind of just experience that, because it's these people that you see online, or like some music that you listen to, and then you just see them there in person. It's pretty cool. But at my biggest goal at the end of this is always to hopefully see these people wearing my brand,
Mm-hmm.
And so Alejandro was telling me there, since I was sending him pieces prior, he was telling me, "Yeah, bro, I actually got I brought these 3 shirts that you gave me in tour," and I was like, "Damn, that's pretty sick." And then I hopped on TikTok. This was a week or two later, and I'm seeing him literally on stage with I think he was wearing this gray one or the brown one with the pink. And I was like, "Damn, that's pretty cool." Damn. It's nice seeing that people are wearing your stuff, especially when you give it for free. You're like, I'm giving it to you for free. It's like, it would be pretty cool if you wear it. And bro, they wear it. It's pretty sick.
I understand the feeling, because I always if I'm a fan of somebody, I'll be like, "Oh, I'll love to send you some stuff," and I don't really I don't expect go follow, go shop with them. I'm like, whatever they want to do, that's the kindness of their heart. And when I do see them wearing it in somewhere they don't really they're just wearing it on a daily basis, I'm like, damn, that's tough. They actually like it. They're not just accepting because it's free.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's a cool story.
Yeah, that's what it is. When they wear it, it just makes you want to bro, the next drop I got you.
Yeah.
But it's usually influencers that I gift these items to, or friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, bro, hopefully I got mediums when you had told me to come here. I was like, bro, hopefully I got mediums, bro. And I had mediums with two of my best pieces.
Yeah.
So I was like, thank God.
I do really appreciate it, because I know that feeling oh, I only have a few of these left, but I'm gonna give it to you. That actually means a lot. So I do appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and I just want to go into 2 more kind of these similar stories. Yeah. I feel like these are pretty cool stories, and just for the clips and
they're
stuff.
little side quests, really.
Cause and I liked how you edited them and posted them. It felt like a series almost, cause you did kind of 3.
Mm-hmm.
The other one I saw was when you went to go give it to a boxer's name is
Teofimo.
Okay.
Teofimo Lopez.
Okay. Cause I'm not really much into boxing, more UFC, but explain that story, cause that one you went to Las Vegas.
So that one, he's actually based off in New York.
Okay.
So not too far from you. So that story came about my friend Brian.
Mm-hmm.
So he's the one that got that connect, and
okay.
I always thank God for the people he has around me, and I got that connect through him, It was one time I think he was delivering him. You know how I told you I'm pretty have a lot of people around me that sell shoes and they're resellers. So he was gonna take them some shoes, and through that process we had kind of had showed him like shirts and stuff like that. And I think he had asked for a few of my shirts. We took them. A few of my other friends' shirts, we took that too. And then on top of that, he also wanted a design. And so I was in charge of that design for that one fight he had in, I think it was, so I actually met up with him twice. It was New York and Vegas.
Okay.
So the first time it was New York. The second time I was in charge of the design of that fight. And so my friend Brian made that connect and everything. And it was pretty cool seeing, me design for like people wearing the fight night design, or he was the main event. So I get to the venue and I see people wearing the shirts that I designed and stuff like that. But that's pretty cool because, the second time we kind of just were able to meet him and kind of, for me, give him the stuff. But I'm trying to think how I gave him my brand. Yeah, I think it was just that. We just like come to the hotel and we went up, we delivered everything. And, he was just there with his team. He has like a team of like 10 people.
Damn.
Yeah, it's like him, his dad, his like trainers, and like the people that he keeps around. Yeah. So yeah, that's how that went about. It's really hard to remember because we met him like twice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I just thought it was pretty cool because like you're literally giving clothes of your brand to literally the main event of a
that
boxing.
was pretty sick. Yeah.
So I was just like, wow, like that motivates me. Like I have people who motivate me for content, but I also have people who motivate me for like clothing and people who own brands. And like when I saw those videos, I was like, damn. I was like, I want to like do that one day. Yeah. I was like, even the video how you did it, I was like, I would probably do it like that.
And I wasn't, sorry to cut you off,
Yeah,
but I
good.
wasn't even gonna, because I never posted videos. I just started.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed.
No, yeah,
I just started like last month.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm gonna just start posting. And I think I posted one, and then the third one did good, and that kind of just motivates you. And then I posted more and more and more, and then the logo one, Los Boyz, did pretty good. I think it passed up 100K, and I was like, whoa, like I didn't even know like this is the game, like in TikTok, because I always use TikTok as a viewer.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I started just posting more. And that's one thing I want to do. I know you were talking to Ed about Vlogmas, but I was like, I'm going to challenge myself to just post one TikTok a day in December.
Yeah.
That's probably like, that's a big challenge for me because I don't do videos. I don't do none of that. So I was like, I want to start posting stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, from what I've seen, you did pretty good because a lot of people come on and then they'll try to do video. And like, of course, you could tell like they're beginners, but like for you, I was like, damn, like even how you set up the first shot where you were editing, you were kind of like gave people like what they're kind of getting to watch right now and like designing for Los Boyz. And then you go into the process. I was like, damn, even the music, how you added it, I was like, okay, good. I was like, damn.
You didn't look a beginner?
No, it didn't. You didn't. Okay. It not look like a beginner. So I was like, damn. So I was trying to look. I was like, I wonder if he has more videos. And then the third one I saw was recently, but I saw you posted on your story like a few days or weeks ago maybe.
Yeah.
It was when you were with Tito Double P, and I was just like, damn. I was like, I'm literally listening to Tito Double P right now, and literally like, cause like I like his music. His music is pretty good.
Yeah. And
like he's just like blowing up, I think right now, like especially right now. Yeah. Like all his songs are just hitting. And I was just like, damn. Like he collabed with him. I was like, damn, and like perfect timing to post this video.
I just posted that video this morning too.
Yeah. So I was like, I was like, hopefully he doesn't mind me talking, cause maybe he. You're good. I was like, hopefully he doesn't. Maybe something happened. But when you post the video, I was like, okay, good. And then I was just like, damn. So I really want to talk to him about that one because that's somebody I'd be listening to quite often.
So that one was random, bro. That one was like last minute, bro. We were I think I was in my house and I was designing, and I just get a call from my friend. Again, I think I keep mentioning Joseph, but yeah, he was he gave me a call. He was like, yo, I got this. He resells. He's a true reseller. So he has a shop. He was like, yo, I got this play. And I was like, what's up? He was like, so I'm going to go. Bro, this was 1 a.m. Yeah, it was 1 in the morning. This was like 2 weeks ago. He was like, I got this play. I'm going to go drop off some shoes. And they also want some of your merch and my merch. And I was like, oh, shoot, that's pretty sick. Because I think he had showed them like some of the merch. So I designed all his merch too. So he kind of just showed them like, this is the merch we got. And then he had showed them my merch, and they were like, I think they had worn it on stage. They were like, oh, I want this shirt, and they wanted a few shirts of mine. And so he had called me at 1 a.m. He was like, yo, get ready, I'm already outside your house. I'm like, oh, snap, bet. Got ready, grabbed the shirts, we got in the car, we headed out there, and we got there. We went to the back of the venue, and they kind of just met up with us. And it's like, I don't know, it's kind of like, it's weird. It was like you go back to the venue, you come in, and you don't know where you're going, but then you're in, and then you're like, all right, what's next? You're kind of just getting guided, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we get to the green room, and then we see him with like rehearsing with like his band members, and you just see him, and it's like, I don't know why, but every time I see like artists like that, it never like whoa, like I never get in shock. I don't know how to say it. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know if you like, I don't get starstruck, but it's like the first thought I have in my head is like the mission is to get them in my brand. You know, that's like my mission every time. And so, we got there, we got to the green room, and we gave him the shirts. My friend Joseph, he took a picture with him and stuff like that. And all the band members were wearing his shirts. And the show started. They all went up. They were all wearing like matching shirts that we designed. Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was a cool experience. I'm pretty sure it was a cool experience for him too, because you start seeing the band members wearing your design, your merch designs, and it's like, whoa, it's kind of sick, especially right now that he's popping off.
Yeah.
And so it was one of those little things where it was like so random. Like, I didn't even know that was gonna happen. 1 a.m. call. I got home like at 4. We had to stop by Whataburger like at the end. We're like, bro, I'm hungry. Yeah.
Damn, that was crazy. I remember seeing that on Instagram. I was like, what the hell? Because I was just like, I don't know, my brothers and my dad, they own a nightclub over there in the DMV, like in Maryland.
Yeah.
It's in Bladensburg, and they always like bring in artists. So I've seen like my fair share of artists, but like I wasn't really into like Mexican music and like a lot of that stuff. So I would always be like, oh, like my brother would be like, oh, look, that's blah blah blah, and be like, oh, I don't really listen to them. And then I would tell them now, I'd be like, you guys should bring him because he's blowing up right now. You guys should bring him over there.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, you should make that happen. And then literally, we were talking about that a few days later. I saw your thing. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like,
really?
The coincidences. And then I was just like, damn.
Yeah, but he's blowing up. He's blowing up right now. Like, he's getting super big. But it's one of those things that I'm pretty sure he was probably booked way before he blew up, because he just started blowing up, right?
It's because like he's like Peso Pluma's like cousin.
Yeah.
So he has that like connection. And then he's just been like gradually releasing and collabing with people. So his music is like just like everything he's been on has just been going good.
Yeah.
Peso Pluma's biggest song is with him right now. Same thing with Chino Pacas. All their songs, if you go to their Apple Music, you see like best performing or whatever, literally his name in each of their titles. So it's just like he's just doing good.
He's killing it. Yeah.
And I was just like, damn. And they even knew somebody they're bringing them kind of close to where we are. And then they were like, oh, damn, like we could have just done another night if he just drove like 30 minutes or something like that. But yeah, it's just crazy. Like those names are pretty big, But yeah, a lot of cool stories, a lot of things to look forward to into the future. Is there anything you tell the college student that was selling Bape hoodies in his dorm right now, or if you were to talk to him right now?
What would I tell myself? What would I tell myself? I'll probably say, just to stay consistent. Just, how I feel like I'm being pretty consistent at the moment in terms of like my brand. That's like my main thing. So I would just say, stay locked in with the plan, and just keep it going. I mean, one day, obviously I'm not where I want to be. I still feel like there's a lot of room for like improvement, but I would just tell myself, just keep going, stay consistent, and eventually, the hard work is gonna pay off. And yeah, bro, that would be it for that.
Okay. Yeah. Selfishly, I wanted to interview him because I was like, he got like I think a good things I could cover and like a lot of interesting stuff. I hope everybody else enjoyed as well as much as I did. Again, thank you so much for these pieces. I did not take it like any like. I appreciate it to the max. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah.
You didn't have to do this,
Nah, yeah, you're good.
But out of the kindness of your heart, you decided to pull up and everything. Thank you so much for your time. Anything you want to tell them? Anything you want to promote?
So I'm having a drop for Black Friday. It should be out probably or if it's not, yeah. But I'm having a drop for Black Friday, and it's a collab with Matthew 6. So it's a faith-based clothing brand that I'm collabing with, and that's dropping on Black Friday. It's 4 garments, and I'm excited for that. Yeah.
If you don't know, Matthew 6 is, if some of you, I think some of you guys are familiar with J. Cole from Los Boyz. That's his brand as well. Did you design some of his pieces?
No.
Okay.
I didn't. No.
Okay.
No.
I was just curious because I was just like, but yeah. But yeah, again, everybody, Lonestar and Andy, go follow all his socials. Like I said, all the stuff is gonna be down below. Anything any of his socials, all down below. Thank you guys for watching so much. Hope to see you again, because you seem like a really genuine, like kind-hearted guy. And yeah, thank you so much for coming along. Thank you for watching another episode of the After High School Podcast. Tune in next week. Again, we're gonna keep going every Tuesday, new podcast, new guest. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to turn on your post notifications, like, comment, subscribe, and let me know if you guys cop something from Lonestar, because his brand's pretty fire. But yeah, see you guys next time. Peace. All right, so while I was in Houston, I forgot to record the Bible verse, so I'm about to say it right now. And I just got out the shower. That's why my hair is wet. It's John 15:12. It says, "This is my commandment, that ye love another as I have loved you." And thank you guys for watching. Peace.